I have the Daily Guide here this morning. Fuel station owner cries foul over Total Energy standoff. Details when you grab a copy of the Daily Guide this morning. But guess what? Chairman Wontumi has been speaking about his luxurious vehicles, pointing out that EOCO assists 15 of them. You can find the details and the classification of the various cars.
That's a lot of vehicles for one man.
That's a lot, yeah. And in fact, points to where he's been getting them. But he says aside that, EOCO has decided to just pick up the car. So 15 of them have been seized by EOCO. So that story is on the front page of the Daily Guide this morning. Claims of 3 billion Cedis NLA giveaway falls. So some interest groups are now coming into the fray over the Fourth Estate reportage on NLA and the Good Causes Foundation. You might want to find details when you grab a copy of the Daily Guide. Boakye Agyarko is finally giving us a sense of what he's likely to do with regards to his ambition to run as chairperson of the NPP. Finally, it's official. So it's captured here on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Boakye Agyarko declares NPP chairmanship bid, and we've seen some flyers making rounds as well. I don't know, Winston, if you've been able to confirm that. No, that Akomea may want to step into that.
I've seen those flyers too. I haven't been able to confirm that, so I don't want to talk about that. But at least we know of Boakye Agyarko.
Yeah.
When Boakye Agyarko went to meet constituency chairman of the NPP, and I know there's a whole thing about chairperson and all, but outside with my English language lecturer, Jeffrey Gogovi, who says the idiom is chairman. So let me go with chairman.
Okay.
Yeah, so when he met the chairman of the constituency chairman of the NPP, he was going to pitch his presidential ambition. And they all told him,
we want you as chairman.
We want you as chairman of the NPP.
That's an interesting one.
So I think that Boakye Agyarko has listened. There's been a lot of support for him since his declaration yesterday.
Yeah.
What does that mean for others like John Boadu and Chairman Wontumi? I think there are many within the NPP who would agree that Boakye Agyarko could be in, the likes of Peter Alajete, BJ Rocha, Harune Sekou and Co., who at the time as chairman of the NPP showed what the NPP was all about.
Yeah, Winston, is the reason for which I asked about that of Nana Akomea, because when he steps into that race, that's going to be a very different
it will be.
So we ought to find out from him whether or not he'll be willing to run. Of course, Winston will get us those little feelers in the course of the program. I'm sure Nana Akomea is also listening this morning, so he will get through to us. Could you there's the talk about Justice Kolendi and Jakba as well being dragged to the CID. It's over some claims that one Oforiata is making to the CID, and so these are some of the stories you'd find when you
petitions and counter petitions.
Yes, of course. Interesting.
Now, if you go to the Ghanaian Times, there's a very, very alarming story, very worrying story. Ghana's water resources decline from 1,900 cubic meters per person in 2016 to 1,500 cubic meters now. This is according to the Water Resources Commission. So between 2016 to 2024, each person has lost 400 cubic meters. That's the story. Now, President holds crunch meeting with CSOs over illegal mining menace this Friday. And Water Aid Ghana launches 18.9 million Ghana Cedi wash projects in Upper East region, and German government to help Ghana strengthen regional security. That story is also in the Ghanaian Times. If you go to page 12, that's where the details of the Water Resources Commission story is. I'll be giving you more on that later.
Now, the custodian newspaper for this morning talks about the Justice Kolendi Jakba to face CID of obstruction of justice. Abronya demands live broadcast to prove Ken's anti-party actions. Mentioned traitors among us, 15 Eastern Region Pro Bamia MPs there, Bryan. You know the famous fear delegate? Now, Bryan Acheampong said that they called him and said, oh, Charlie, it's politics. So he sent a message to Dr. Bamia, fear delegate. Now they are asking, they're challenging him to mention the traitors amongst them. Tano North MC fingered in galamsey operations, also on the front page. Then Republic Bank Director Nigel Baptiste retires. Port container traffic reaches highest level in 10 years, and $1 hits 13.7. Now that's on the Forest. I mean, that's Forest Bureau. If you get to the Forest Bureau, for the Interbank, it's about 12.4.
12.4. It appears a number of the newspapers this morning are interested in this whole Bryan case. This one comes with a picture of Frank Anodon Bryan, Dr. Bryan Acheampong. He's been daring Bryan Acheampong to provide evidence of the individual, or some of the MPs he claims are just just deceiving Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And of course that story is also on the front page of the Ghanaian Publisher this morning. MPs dare Bryan name snitches or apologize. That's the option they are giving to him. And President Mahama drags CSOs into galamsey. Details page 3 of the Ghanaian Publisher. And there's also talk about CID being asked to probe Justice Kolendi Agyarko over alleged plot to derail the Atuforcing trial.
Now the news center, ministers contradict each other on unpaid teachers' salaries. Yesterday the unpaid teachers went on but I saw the video of the Deputy Minister of Finance who said that it will be they will make provisions for them in this year's budget, right? The budget that will be presented this year for next year. Yes. So that's the story. And AI coding to drive telecom growth. This is according to the CEO of MTN Ghana. Dummy faces CID probe today. An ambulance case, Kolendi Agyarko dragged to CID. And there's also the story of Total Energies and the dealer. The issue to do with the Medina Powerland Total Energies station. The dealer is called Thomas Kofi Class Peters, and his filling station has been shut down for 2 years. And the various newspapers are covering the story and asking for a way forward for both the oil giant and the businessman.
Great. The new publisher this morning, Antichrist candidate Wahala. Abronye wants showdown with NPP disciplinary committee aired live on TV and radio. He knows he's not going to get that. But
that's an interesting one.
He knows he's not going to get that. But the KNUST SHS assistant headmaster story is also here. CIBI slums fourth estate over NLA KGL report is also here. The Ghanaian Point is the final one I've got. Gary Nimakusu's fourth estate, journalist, media fund in West Africa for 10 million over lottery bonanza report. Government raises prison feeding allowance from 1 Cedi 80 pesos to 5 Ghana cedis after 15 years. And aid dependency is over, put aspirations into action. Mahama tells world leaders as he launches Accra Reset at the 80th UN General Assembly. NPP is in a difficult and delicate situation. That's according to the party's General Secretary, Justin Kodria.
In fact, I'd say Abronye was very smart with his call for a live broadcast, because he knew too well that if that proceeding went live, then all of the key issues will be, dissipated into issues of, politics and petty politicking, if you want to call it as such, because then everybody will bring their case. And the foot soldiers will also cut their videos and share online. But anyway.
Does every political party have an Abronye? Who is the Abronye of the NDC?
Anyway, the Accra Times, NPP in search of credibility.
I know you all had one name come into your mind. You just don't want to say it.
So the Accra Times is also talking about that. NPP in search of credibility chases Bawumia loyalists over reckless comments. So that's Bernard Boakye aka Wontumi. Then we have Kwame Abronye, who's known as Abronye DC. And NPA to prosecute defaulters. MIDA is chief coordinator for global grants now. That's the directive from the president. And speaking of illegal mining, fighting illicit drug trafficking is also here, I should say. That's some campaign that NACOC is raging as well. Then we have resetting the judiciary as promised. Mahama hailed for nominating new CJ with no political ties, and slave trade is the greatest crime against Africa. That's according to President Mahama, as he cries out to the West and demands reparations. So these are some of the stories you'd find on the front page of the Accra Times.
Shall we go online?
Yep. MyJoyOnline, DSTV pricing not about market size, says Communication Minister Sam George. No, we are not regulating social media. Sam George is still speaking on this. US visa restrictions, don't overstay your welcome. Ghana's US mission cautions citizens. And TikTok flies team to Ghana as government GCB Bank set a first ever payout channel for content creators. Foreign Ministry has also announced scholarships for training and tertiary education, and so those are stories from Ghanaian MyJoyOnline. If you go to citynewsroom.com, galamsey fight Mahama's measures need collective support. This is Jampo, and Ghanaians are shunning loans, and it's a worry. Here is why. That's an article on Citi Newsroom. And Sylvia Owusu-Ankoma has been appointed the new CEO of Ghana Telecommunications and Digital Chamber. So that is also there. And from price cuts to bouquet shifts, Ghana's DSTV standoff ends in compromise. GTEC is seeking support not to suppress tertiary institutions. This is Prof. Jinapo speaking. And Ghana to roll out HIV preventive drug in 2026. Those are the stories online.
All right. Well, let's settle for some details then.
Yes, Kojo, I want to give you some details on the water resources story, which is on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times. And the story says that Ghana is facing a sharp decline in its water resources, with water stress levels dropping from 1,900 cubic meters per person in 2016 to 1,500 cubic meters today. This is according to the head of Policy Planning and Research for Water Resources Commission. He addressed a gathering to mark World Rivers Day in Accra yesterday. And I've looked at the latest integrated water management plan of the Water Resources Commission, Kojo. And if you look at this document, which is on their website, it tells us that we had planned to have access to water for the Ghanaian population 80% in 2015, and by 2025 100%. Now Galamsey is destroying our water bodies. How do we get 100% water access to all Ghanaians? Yesterday someone in Sakumono says he hasn't had water for months. It's something we need to worry about.
Yeah, and we will talk about it.